Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
Welcome to Stayfhomekins.
Welcome to it. My name is Paul F. Tompkins.
He's a comedian. I'm Janie Tompkins.
She's an actor.
We are a married couple, still staying home together.
Still staying home together.
When we can. Things are sort of half opening.
Yes, it's a strange time.
A little bit of a hybrid of open and close.
As we all are.
Yeah. You mean internally?
And externally. That's how I try to be.
Okay. I noticed we didn't sound check before. How's it going with that?
It's going great.
Okay, because you were doing something weird with your buds.
Something weird with my friends?
The friends in your ears.
Oh, that's right. They are my ear buds. We go on adventures together.
I got my weekend water, but let me just point out, because I don't really drink during the week. So, and I have like a Friday night situation for myself. It feels like I haven't had a cocktail in 3 months.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this is like, we did it a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And
You haven't had
then
a drink since then?
No. I haven't.
So wistful.
I haven't. But here I am. It's Friday night.
Right, girl?
And I guess that makes it all right.
Yeah.
How about you? Tell me, what are you thinking?
Well, here's the thing. I, today, started back recording my other podcast with Lauren Lapkus and Scott Ackerman called Freedom.
I know. We have fans because people were very excited to hear it was going to start up again.
I know. That was a nice way to find out that some people listen because they were online saying, Paul said Freedom's coming back. And it is. And we recorded 2 episodes today. In Scott's backyard, at
a distance.
Yes, at a distance. We were. It was really funny how far apart we were, but we had really long mic and headphone cords.
Yes.
And we did it very safely, but we also, thanks to the technology, we were able to make it feel immediate. So it was the same vibe as we had before.
Good.
But I realized something.
What is that?
That doing that podcast and this podcast,
It's too much.
It's like I
didn't know you were going to say that.
No. It's like I'm burnt. I have only so much material of my life.
Uh-oh.
So like the stuff that I would absolutely normally talk about today.
You already talked about it.
I already talked about it on Freedom, but then that comes out later.
So now what do we do?
I think I gotta give Stayfhomekins the scoop.
Meaning, like, you're gonna let Stayfhomekins listener. Wait, what if we ruin Freedom's audience?
I don't.
Are
think
people
that's
not
gonna
tuning
happen.
in for your? They're not tuning in for your.
No, I'm the least popular member of Freedom.
Is that true?
I don't know. Probably. Who knows?
That's not true. You're all 3 popular.
We're all 3.
You, Scott, and Lauren. Who?
Let's face it. It's a dream team.
It is a dream team. It is a dream team.
But here, let me tell you exactly where I am right now.
In our home.
Yeah.
Sitting across from me.
Okay, Bunny.
Who's Bunny?
From The Wire. He would ask the new officers, "Where are you at?" And they had to say exactly where they were physically in space.
Okay. Oh, right. Northeast, southwest corner.
Bunny Coleman? Was it Bunny
Coleman?
Colvin.
Yeah. They had to be like northeast corner, facing west.
So here's what's going on. So last week, I told people that I got this job, guest starring on a sitcom, went and got my COVID test. Mm-hmm. The next day, I got my results. Comically, here's what happens. You have to download an app to get the results.
There's an app for that.
Oh, my God.
I'm just going to be like...
It's like you open up the time capsule too soon. Nobody should have heard that phrase again for another 50 years.
God.
Oh, Jesus.
I hope I get a couple more in before the end of the episode. Could dial it right back to like 2003 or something.
Jesus.
2005 probably was when it was. That's what I'm thinking.
So, so the next day I download the app.
Mm-hmm. Then
the very next day I get a text from the app that says, "We sent you an email." I go to the email. The email says, "We have your results. Click here."
Okay.
No further information. Click here. Okay. Click on that. Takes me to the app. It says, "Sign into the app because we got your results." I sign in. Then it says, "We have your results. Click here." So it's 5 barriers.
No.
And with each one, I'm like, well, I have it.
You can find out if you're pregnant faster than that. Like, so come on.
It was negative. I go to work on that was Saturday. I go to work Tuesday. Tuesday I get tested again before I start work. Right there on the lot. Tuesday goes off very well. Everyone's being very safe, very careful. They have all kinds of like every precaution you could think of in place. Everyone's taking it very seriously. All the crew is wearing, including like the producer, director, wearing masks and shields. They are, even the way we're shooting it. Like I was in scenes with two other actors. We were far apart in the scene. You know, we were always separated by like a piece of furniture or something. So there was distance because we were the only ones taking our masks off all day. So, and then we would put the masks back on immediately, you know, after the scene was cut. So the Tuesday I feel like, okay, this is strange, but it's good. It's nice to be working again. And it's nice to be around people and feeling somewhat normal, but also, of course, it's on your mind all day. Everyone's being safe. There's plenty of hand sanitizer everywhere. Wednesday, going to work, shooting, everything's fine. We're just about done for the day. We're almost completely done. We just have to turn the camera angle around to get the other part of the scene.
Jeremy Renner's stuff.
What?
You did get his coverage. Oh, you're not working with Jeremy Renner?
No. Did I lie to you and say that I was working with Jeremy Renner?
I just thought you might
Jeremy, of all people.
I was trying to think of someone unlikely.
I had to download his app too, and now it's gone.
I was just trying to, like, you know, who would be unlikely?
Yes, and honey, you fucking nailed it. So then, one of the ADs comes in and says, one of the assistant directors comes in to this little room where I am, and says, "Hey, we're going to take a 30-minute break, so you can just go back to your trailer." And I said, "Okay," and I follow him out of this room, and then he talks to the hair and makeup team who are out there in the studio, and he raises his voice a little bit and says, "Hey, everybody, we're just going to leave the studio right now. We just need everybody to get up and get out of the studio." And I was like, all right, this seems like more than a break.
And meanwhile, like, you're like texting me, and you're like, "Oh, they just cleared the studio."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sure too many people were congregating or something, you know.
Turns out, yes. So I wait in my trailer for a little bit, and then somebody comes and says, "We're gonna send you home, and we'll let you know when we're gonna finish this scene." And I said, "Okay." And it turns out it was one of the camera operators tested positive, because they're testing everybody every day.
God. And
they're using 3 different services for testing, so they can always be testing people and always be getting results in. ABT. Put that coffee down. So,
swab the noses. I don't know.
What?
I'm doing Mammoth in COVID times.
But who was that character?
Was
it a continuation?
Jack Lemmons? Alec Baldwin's?
Sure. Well, Alec Baldwin's put that coffee down. Because
okay.
coffee is for closers.
By the way, nightmare. Keep going. Always be testing.
What's the nightmare?
Alec Baldwin's character.
Oh, sure. Good point. I thought being in that situation.
Wait,
where you couldn't have coffee unless you closed a sale.
That is a nightmare.
That is a nightmare, kind of. That's he can't.
You need coffee to close.
He can't make that rule.
See, if I were working for him, I'd be like, I need coffee to close, dude.
Somebody should have said that to him.
Like,
Alan Arkin, come on.
You think I can't close? I'm tired.
So, go home. The next day, they have me come in for 2 tests back to back. Where the one was a rapid test, which meant I was going to get results within 15 minutes. Now, look, this is all disgusting to talk about because there's people out there who cannot get tested.
Well, it's making me angry.
They're not getting this immediate
It's
result.
making me angry for like schools and
right.
Yeah,
Don't
keep going.
Don't get mad at me though.
I'm not mad at you, but
Okay,
I'm mad
you
at.
are disappointed.
I don't like our system.
No, absolutely. So it's not people.
It's not egalitarian.
People on sitcoms are not essential workers.
I mean, we are running out of content, though. But
we all need to laugh. We all need to laugh. But there's plenty of existing shows. So, so when I get the rapid test results, I go back to the little trailer where they're doing those, and the nurse comes out. And she says, I have your results. And I said, great. And she says, will you join me over here? So I walk over to this part of the parking lot where they have like a little taped off area, 2 little boxes, one for her, one for me. So we can stand across from each other. And she can say, your results are negative. And it's like, why? Why? You absolutely can say that.
Just say it under your breath on the way over, like, you're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it'd be funny if you just like you just made a whale, no matter what.
And just like drop to my knees.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then just like, thanks, cool.
So now here's the thing. So that first night after they, shut things down, I was really freaked out. And
I was too.
Because
listeners,
of course.
Let's just earlier in the pandemic, I got an oximeter and measured
in the pandemic.
early pandy. I got a little oximeter to stick on our fingertips because one of the negative symptoms of COVID getting accelerated is your oxygen blood level drops. When people need to go to the hospital, it's typically because your blood oxygen level drops to a way too low amount.
Right.
And so you can get this tiny little thing from the drugstore for like $17.
Yes, ours is bejeweled.
Well, I bedazzled it for us.
Thank you.
Oh my God, you know how people are like making masks? Bedazzled oximeters is an untapped market. For real. For real. Okay, so anyway, so like that night I'm like taking Paul's oxygen like crazy. And I'm like, if I get an ache in my elbow, I'm like, is it COVID? Like maybe I had COVID, maybe I gave it to you. Maybe I'm the one that took, like spread it past the house or whatever.
Right.
So anyway, we got through the night, y'all, obviously. And
then the next day, felt fine. It was kind of scary, spooky to be there, but everyone was fine. That whole camera team they got sent home. No, not replaced. They got sent home. And then I don't know if
but they brought in a B team. They must have.
No, they didn't.
Oh.
They didn't. There was one camera. They were one camera less.
Oh, okay.
And so I don't know if they had replaced them because they shot today. I wasn't there today, but they shot today. And then I'm supposed to go back on Monday. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I feel a little coldy.
What?
Yes.
Why did you wait until we started recording to tell me this?
Because it wasn't really happening until right before we started recording. But can you hear it in my voice?
No. Should I get the bedazzled oximeter?
Get the bedazzled oximeter.
Right.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Do it live.
What does that mean to play us out? Seriously, how could he not know what that meant? It's very... That was not hard to parse.
Maybe he was like having roid rage. Or, I don't know. Was he on...
Bill O'Reilly?
Okay, I want you
He was super buff.
I want you to stick your index finger in here, and then you hit the button. But you have to stick it like it'll fit in the mold shape of the finger.
Where's the button? On the side?
No, it's on top. Put your... Oh, wait.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, there. Fit it in there.
Just like this, right?
Yeah, do you feel the shape of a finger in there?
I beg your pardon? Do I feel the shape of a finger in there?
Let me see that thing. Give me that thing. What are you doing? Yeah, if you slide your finger in there...
I think I was on the wrong side.
Jesus Christ.
Was I? No.
You were on the wrong...
There we go. I
Now
feel the
hit
shape
the
of a finger in there.
Hit the button. Now just wait a minute, and it's going to tell you, like, your heart rate and your oxygen.
Ooh, I feel it. I feel it.
What do you feel?
I feel like a little squeezy.
Oh, you're fine. 96. Give me that thing. Now I want to test mine.
Yeah, man, you got to do yours.
This is just like...
What's a bad
This
number
is just
get?
embedded marketing for our stayfhomekins branded bedazzled oximeters.
What's a bad number to get?
I think, like... I don't know the answer necessarily. I know what you're supposed to get.
Here's the thing, though.
Oh, that's not good. Mine's all over the map. Oh, okay. 98.
Oh,
Sorry, it went
not a competition.
Like,
so here's the
but
thing.
like people who go in the hospital have like levels of like 50 or something.
Dude, boy.
Like they'll call and they'll be like, "What's the number?" And they're like, "He needs to call the ambulance."
So, I could just have a cold, but if I do, I can't go back into work.
Right, because you're exhibiting a symptom.
Yes.
But they're going to test you on Monday. Well, you'll know by Monday if you have symptoms or not.
But I mean,
it's Friday.
Are they? I guess I go in for a test on Monday. You know what I mean? I guess we'll see.
Oh, well,
But
you have to talk to like the AD.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they probably have a protocol on paper about it.
I will see how I feel tomorrow. Because I've had this before where it seems like I was getting
also,
cold
you were
and I
sitting
didn't.
outside all day long today.
It's true. We were out there. Because we recorded outside. We were out there for a few hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I mean...
I sneezed a couple times.
I've been sneezing for days. That is not a COVID thing, though. Sneezing.
Is it not?
No.
I don't know about that. I think it is.
No.
I think it's an early symptom.
Sneezing is not.
What?
Coughing. It's like sniffles and coughing and stuff. It's not sneezing.
I know sniffles and coughing are not sneezing. Thank you.
I don't know. Here's what
if you have a dry cough, that's supposed to be.
Yeah, dry cough isn't good.
Dry cough isn't good.
Well, like, okay, so what if you're not feeling well? Am I supposed to take you somewhere else to get a COVID test? Now what do we do?
I'll go myself. You don't have to take me.
Also, by the way, very strange information to be receiving on the air.
Honey, I'm giving it to you as it happens. This is not like I woke up with it and I was like, I can't tell her. I got to save it for the podcast.
Well, I think we're both run down anyway. This week was tough.
This week was a real ass kicker, man.
He's back to work. I somehow got invited to audition for things. I don't know how that happens.
You had a bunch of auditions.
Well, maybe like my agents, sometimes I have this weird like paranoia. All right, listen to this paranoia.
All right.
That I don't really...
You mean the listeners, because I've heard it.
That when I get an audition request that I wasn't really requested, but my agents are like, let's just get Janie to do a tape because, you know, maybe we can talk them into watching it.
I honestly do not think... I honestly do not think that is how it works.
And then, by the way, like, it's so much work. I know there's actors who listen to this because I've heard from actors, and I know some actors who listen to this.
Oh, I know there's actors who listen to this.
But for people who don't do it. You get the audition tape and it's so much work because you'll be like, oh, this is due in 24 hours. Here's 11 pages to memorize by tomorrow. Have a specific take on it. Look camera ready. And now that you can't do it in person, you got to do all the tech on it. Stuff. Like, and I didn't have a reader. Oh, cuckoo.
No reader. That's cuckoo.
Yeah, because Paul was busy. Although you read with me for that one.
It's true.
But you had to do it in 10 minutes. We were rushed.
It's true. Well, that's also true.
So I had to get like Joel to FaceTime me. And it was like, and he was like reading it was like a female part. We were supposed to be sisters. And I was like, oh, God, it's like, because I know like Joel helped me do it, you know, and I hate bugging people to do it.
I know.
It's like, okay. Anyway, so it's like
that.
We're just like tired. We're just like tired. We're tired.
And
also maybe Paul has COVID. I don't know.
Hey, maybe I got COVID.
That should be what?
That should be like an app where it's like an AI.
No, I think it is. Oh, it's not an AI.
Maybe you wait until I finish my sentence.
I don't want to act with an
Don't
AI.
make me Bill Maher you.
I don't want to act with the AI. Okay, keep going.
It's just like a little AI person.
Do they sound like Stephen Hawking?
No. They sound like fucking Siri
Meryl
or whatever.
Streep. I want Meryl Streep.
Okay. They sound like Meryl Streep.
Wait, I want to act with
and so it's like a little face, so you can have an eye line, and someone that's acting with you, and it's triggered by, you know, it knows what the lines are
because I send it the little PDF.
Yeah, so you can do it all by yourself. You could do the whole thing by yourself.
Well, I guess there is some app out there where will match you like an Uber driver to a reader, maybe.
I like an Uber driver. In the way that it matches you to an Uber driver, it would match you to someone who could read with you.
I think so.
Okay. I thought it sounded for a second that sounded like an Uber driver will read with you.
In LA? In LA? That's probably true.
Then you have to listen to the story about how much they
smell the cologne. It's like a thing.
You don't even get the mints.
No, I want a bottle of water. Okay.
I feel like you and I have had good luck with Ubers with getting fun drivers, like people that we've people that we've had fun conversations.
Wait, you know what? I had a Lyft with this girl. She was a stand-up comedian, and we got to chatting like all over the map. And then I went.
Was Paula Poundstone.
And I don't know. We just were like, oh my God, da da da. And then I went. It was like a year and a half later. I went to this fundraiser for reproductive rights, and she was there volunteering, and she was like, "Oh, do you remember me? I was your Lyft driver." You know,
she remembered you. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, hopefully I tipped her well. That's maybe why.
Well, how much? We'll talk about this off air.
So I was like, "Oh my God!" And then one time I was doing Uber Pool, and I was going to Largo, and they picked up this girl, and we were riding along, and she was like, "Are you Janie?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "I'm Holly. We have all these friends in common, and I know that you went to Iceland, and I'm going to Iceland." And I was like, "Oh my God, I gotta loan you my." So we like struck up this friendship, and like since we've seen each other a bunch because we have these mutual friends. And then she was in the latest Dirty John, and that was exciting to watch. The one with Amanda Peet and Christian Slater, the Betty Broderick
Dirty
story.
John, the Betty Broderick story.
And so I was like, oh my God. And it was just like coincidental. And another time I got in an Uber pool. Another time I got in an Uber pool, and this guy was like, I don't know, we just got to talking. And he's like, "Are you Janie?" And he was like, "Oh yeah," and he was this comic, Solomon, and he's like, "Yeah, I went on this cruise with your husband," and blah 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 blah. And I was like,
Solomon
"Oh my God, you're like so," you know. Now I follow him on Twitter and everything, and we like struck it up, and we're like yucking it up in the backseat and everything.
That was Solomon Giorgio, who's very funny.
But I've heard of some people they don't always luck out with Uber or Lyft drivers. Like sometimes I've had like girlfriends be like, I've had to be like let out, like let me out.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not always fun and games.
That is not something. The worst that happens to a man in that instance is usually somebody driving, like but in a cab, like somebody would be driving around forever and
trying to rip you off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Well, at least with Uber, there's that digital footprint, so you have to be like, hey, you're not going the right way, or...
Yeah, man, because there's a DigiFooty P.
DFP. Yeah, you know me.
That's right.
Well, guys, so here we are.
Wait.
I guess you're going to be on the edge of your seats to find out if Paul has COVID or not.
It'll be 1 week till you find out. Do you remember we picked up that hitchhiker in Iceland?
Yeah.
We went on vacation in Iceland a few years ago.
I want to explain why we went to Iceland.
I wish you would.
Can I back it up just a touch?
Back that ass up. Show me what you're working with.
So, Paul's family planned a family kind of reunion. Mm-hmm. Paul's one of 6, and
children.
No, they're a gang, and they call themselves the Six.
The Six.
And he has a tattoo on his bicep that just says the Six.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's one of 6.
Mine's upside down. People think I was in Lord of the Rings.
He's one of 6, and his sister lives full-time in Germany. And so it's hard because everyone else is in America. She's in Europe. It's like the travel is hard.
Yeah, so we can't see each other.
Or the visiting
we can't see each other.
Is less practical.
We can't all be together very often.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she was nice enough. She does a lot of the she does like a home swap a lot. And she got a home swap this is back in 2015. She got a home swap in Ireland. And it was like a big enough I had to burp, y'all. And so I dipped off the mic.
But you were looking at me the whole time.
And Paul just like
did the same thing. I just mirrored. That's married life.
Damn. So anyway, she got this home swap. It was like big enough for everyone. And she's like, if everyone can come out to Ireland, I've got this house.
Yeah, free accommodations.
Free accommodations. Yeah. And we'd never been to Ireland, and obviously, wanted to see the Tompkinses, and so we all go to Ireland. Now, my dad was turning 75.
I really think so.
He had also retired. It was like, I don't know, there was like an excuse. He was, whatever. It wasn't even like his birthday month or whatever, but that Labor Day weekend, my stepmother was throwing my dad this party in West Virginia. That was like a big deal.
A big to-do.
Yeah, that was like, you and your brother, my step siblings on that side, everyone come. All my flipping cousins. It was like a big family. So we had a big Tompkins thing and a big Haddad thing. And one was in Ireland and one was in West Virginia. But there was a week in between the two events where we could either fly all the way back to our home in Los Angeles and then backtrack to West Virginia, or kill a week somewhere in the middle of Ireland, in between Ireland and West Virginia. So we were like, what do we do? Where do we go? We didn't know what to do. And I had this friend who is like an Iceland fanatic. She like knows all about it. She'd been there. She has like relatives from there, even though like no one's from there. She's like explained it, how like no one's really from there, but they are. I don't know. It was like a weird, it's like a thing. But like her grandmother was, anyway. So she was like, you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go. So we decided that we would stop in Iceland between Ireland and West Virginia, and it was the best decision ever.
It was
because
an amazing
Iceland was
trip.
awesome.
I want to say it was even more interesting than West Virginia or Bon Boy, Ireland.
We were in Bon Boy, County something. We were literally.
I can't remember what
like
county.
there was literally a cow, like
Across
next
the
to the
street.
window.
And
yeah,
that was the big attraction. It was not. It's not the.
and like there were like the work homes or whatever the work homes. What do you call this?
Oh yeah. They
The
were
work-
like workhouses.
workhouses.
They're not still running, of course, but they were converted into museums. But it was not the most exciting part of Ireland. There were two pubs in town.
The Keeper's Arms. Wait.
I can't believe you remember the name.
Are you kidding? I thought I was going to get my throat slit in there.
What?
I just we went in the Keeper's Arms. Look, Irish people are lovely. This is not I love normal people. This is not
normal people.
We walked in the pub.
Every time for like a week. We were there for a week, right?
And it was like we were the ugly American. Like we were like they were staring at us like just with disdain.
We would walk
disdain.
That pub was depressing.
It was the most unwelcoming environment.
Yes.
And then in the corner there was like a TV that was just playing like constant American sitcoms.
Yeah.
Like old ones though, like not
like
recent, like 10 years old, like
Family
the
Matters
Ellen
and stuff.
show or so, or say,
Ellen,
or whatever.
Ellen sitcom.
Ellen sitcom. and it was just like we were like literally in the middle of nowhere. Oh, the trip was not. It was great seeing your family.
It was great seeing the family, and it was interesting a little bit, but it was not the ideal spot to go. We spent one night in Dublin before going to
and that
Iceland.
was a nightmare too because the hotel. First of all, the hotel wouldn't let us check in. Paul was so sleep.
We got up
jet-
extremely early.
Oh, this is a whole. I need
another
drink for this.
Yeah, we had to. Part of the deal with the home swapping is that you leave the place as nice as you arrived. So
Maybe a little nicer.
well, there's only so much you can do. Buy them fucking furniture. What are you talking about?
Chocolate on the table.
You could do something like that. We did not do that. Well, what we did was we cleaned the whole house. We washed all the linens and everything like that. But the thing is, my oldest sister who was doing the house swap and her son and Janie and I, we were the only ones left. Everyone else left a day earlier. So we had to clean. They left that morning. We had to clean up after everybody, after the entire household. There was no discussion of this. Nobody made it any easier. Nobody pulled any linens off of beds. Nobody put all the towels together or anything like that. People just left it okay, I guess this just happens. And so we had to get up my sister wanted us to get up really early because they were going to a place. They were going to an Airbnb in Dublin where they could just walk in. They were just
your sister and her son.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
in order to make the most of the day.
Oh, that's right. We got the earliest
let's
bus.
get up early, clean the house like fucking lunatics, and then we'll get the first bus to the airport.
Dublin.
To Dublin.
Because we were spending
a night. Did we take the bus to Dublin? Yeah,
yes.
We didn't fly to Dublin. Yeah. We took the bus to Dublin. And so we get to the hotel, and it's 11 a.m. or something.
And they wouldn't let us check in early.
I was so tired.
Paul was so pissed at me.
We sat. Why was I pissed at you?
Because I was like, it's fine. We're going to make the most of it. And you were just like, ugh.
I think you wanted to go out and explore or something. You were not in the same place as I was. And I was like, I can't. I'm fucking, I'm so tired. So we sat in the lobby
waiting
of the hotel, just
I don't
waiting.
think we got there at 11. It was just 2 hours or something. Maybe.
I think it was more than that.
It was 2 or 3 hours.
Because they were like, we'll let you know. It might open up sooner. And we kept checking, and they're like, no. So then finally we get let into the room. I think I crashed for a little bit. It was a very charming hotel.
So cute.
Yeah.
We had a nice little dinner in the hotel.
Yeah. And then we found out, I think, at dinner before we went out for the evening that there were approximately
a wedding or
1,000
parties or
hen
something.
parties. That
Yeah,
were
it was a hen party. It was like hen parties.
Yeah, it was there were many bridesmaids parties that were happening. This is like a hot spot for bridesmaids.
So we like fell asleep at like 11, and then promptly at 2 a.m.
No. Hold on a second. There's a lot that happened before then.
There was?
My sister, we'd try to decide what are we going to do this evening.
Oh, that night.
One night in Dublin. What are we going to do?
Yeah, the music.
So there was a musical pub crawl where we would go. We would follow this group
Yeah.
from pub to pub,
Yeah.
and they would perform. These two guys would perform, and it was all fine. It was like we saw all these different pubs, and these guys told stories about the music and everything. They're very charming. They were playing traditional Irish music.
Yeah, it
which
was all
I
traditional
love,
Irish music. Yeah,
and that was a lot of fun. The last place we went,
I forgot.
was jam-packed. It was crazy packed. And I ended up sitting like almost on the stage. I was very self-conscious. I was so close to those guys.
Yeah, it was crazy.
We couldn't all sit together. And so at one point they say, does anyone here sing? And my sister immediately points at me and says, he does.
But I kind of participated too because you got mad. You glared at me.
Yeah, you did not help.
Well, but it's true. You do sing.
You backed her up. Yeah, it's not a court of law. You're not compelled.
Did you know that you're not supposed to hide your light under a bushel?
Yeah. Look,
have you not ever heard that?
My light gets out from under the bushel plenty.
Not in Ireland. And this light was asking.
Wait.
A bushel of people.
I think you lost the metaphor. This light was asking a bushel of people.
I don't even know what a bushel is. Also,
it's like a basket.
Whatever. So then,
why are you mad at me?
Because I was just reacting, and you know what?
Yeah.
It was a spontaneous moment. It was a spontaneous care.
Remember me telling you I might have COVID.
Remember being, well, you're right. You can be married for 10 years and be surprised by your partner. Remember being carefree. That's what this podcast is.
That's right, honey.
Find out if your partner has COVID in the middle of the...
That's right. The very definition of carefree. So I had to sing in front of this straight. Now, look, yes, I am a performer, and I put myself on stage on a regular basis.
You weren't wearing that hat.
It's a different thing. It's like when you have to do a speech at a wedding or something like that. It's a weird kind of self-consciousness that you get.
To be fair,
TBF.
You killed.
Well,
he totally killed.
But will I ever know if people really thought it was good or if they were being polite?
The guy's face was like, what?
Well, of course he's got to do that.
I know. What do you think? It's like a magic show? Like it's like when we went to the Magic Castle. We should tell that story sometime for real, even though you talk about it on your stand-up.
Yeah. Well, if
we could tell it in a real way, not a comedic way.
In a real way. All right, we got to take a break.
Okay.
And we're back.
We don't have a sponsor this week, I don't believe. Do we?
We don't. So I hope you enjoyed that little moment for you to catch your breath. Oh, we never talked about the hitchhiker.
So we left Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and okay, so here's a tip. If you go to Iceland, this is what my friend told me.
If you ever go to Iceland,
it's like,
oh, you better act right.
What is that song?
Midnight Special.
Oh.
You know you better not quarrel.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So,
that's what I sang and made the Irish guy's face light up.
That is not what he's saying. He's saying Skyfall, which, by the way, there's a video of Paul singing Skyfall on YouTube, so you can check that out.
That's true. That's true. If you want to have the same experience that Irish guy did, then you can listen to me sing Skyfall on YouTube.
Okay, so
ASMR YouTube recommendations. Epic fails.
That sounded more like Casey Kasem. Was Casey Kasem the original?
Casey Kasem sound like this.
The original ASMR.
What?
Maybe NPR. NPR was
yes.
the original ASMR.
Casey Kasem, the original ASMR.
That would be a funny T-shirt. Casey Kasem, the original ASMR.
You're right. If I saw that, I would laugh.
Oh, maybe it could be like an Andre the Giant thing. Like I could be like the next Shepard Fairey. All right, y'all. Okay.
All right, y'all.
Don't you fucking make fun of me.
I'm not making fun of you. I love it.
All right, y'all. So here's the deal. It's like if you go to Iceland, it's like expensive to buy like wine and stuff.
Yes.
So this is what you do.
It was at the time. It was cheap, very cheap to get there.
Oh yeah,
But
it's cheap to get there.
It's like buying things.
It's an
island
island country.
It's an island country.
It's an island country. Okay, and also by the way, flying there from like DC is like flying from New York to LA.
Yeah.
Like it's not as far as you think it is. It's really weird. So anyway, what you do, this is my friend who did the whole Iceland thing. So we got a
thorough debriefing.
So
on Iceland.
Basically go to the duty free, get as many bottles of weekend water as you can carry. Don't forget a wine opener like we did.
Yeah.
Get as many bottles of, and then carry it into the country. Because then you're set in your hotel.
Yeah.
Or your Airbnb.
After that, we were traveling by car, so it was easy.
Oh, yeah, so we rented a car. You drive on the
Make sure you don't have as much time as you think you do. And when you're in line at the duty free, you almost miss your flight.
Yeah,
that's key.
As you're carrying,
this is key.
With your arms filled with weekend water bottles.
Yeah, and you feel stupid and dumb.
So okay. So then
We should say wine. We weren't like going through.
I didn't buy any Tito's. We just did wine.
No, we just did wine.
This is more for like a cheese and cracker situation in your hotel.
Icelandic
This is
cheese
not.
and crackers.
This is not. Okay. And then so we did hotels. We didn't do Airbnbs because we just were like kind of moving around and we kind of had like that's how we needed to do it.
Yeah, we went to 3 different parts of the
Spots.
country.
Yeah.
And we would spend 3 days in each.
Yeah. And so you can drive there easily if you're American because
Same side of the road.
Same side of the road, same side of the car. Like it's not a
yes. It's not like, what am I, in the post office?
Yes. It's very English speaking forward country, it's easy to navigate. It felt like going to Seattle or something.
Everybody speaks English. We only encountered, I think, 2 people that did not speak English, and I secretly think they did.
Also, they were like so friendly, and they were like shaking their head like apologetically, like
Bjork. They just said Bjork to us.
So we did all that, but and here's my second tip: if you do hotels, one day when we're allowed to travel and we're not the lepers of America,
The lepers of the world.
Sorry, the lepers of the world.
The United States of Molokai.
Although Europe's hitting a second wave.
Look, everybody.
Hammer in the dance.
We all fucked up here.
We all fucked up. Hammer in the dance. Remember?
Hammer in the dance?
That's what the epidemiologist, the guy who said it was a hammer in the dance.
I don't recall.
The waves of the pandemic.
This
Way in the early.
Vaguely familiar.
Early.
Yeah, way in the early.
Way in the early. Okay, so if you stay in a hotel there, because it's, I guess, a European style situation,
Mm-hmm.
they give you like a free breakfast that is like a buffet, like a European style buffet breakfast that is included with your stay.
Yes.
If you take a purse big enough, you can fill it with some apples and crackers and wrap up cheeses and
hard-boiled eggs,
I
which were always there.
Just like scooped them into my purse, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got your lunch.
It honestly
ready to go.
Every place we went did this. We went to 3 different hotels. They all did it.
They laid out. It's so, and
it was
great. Listen,
because we had snacks throughout the day.
You're not stealing. You paid for this. Okay, it is included in your hotel fee. So it's not like you're stealing anything. You're merely partaking. You might even,
Well, that would keep us going throughout the day because it was a lot of driving. We would drive around, and I loved driving there. It's beautiful.
It's peaceful. It's not crowd. It's not like traffic. It's not like you're here in LA, or even just road trips in America in some places with crowded freeways. It's not. Yeah. It's not that type of. It's not that populous of a.
No, and
it's like a. Yeah.
It's 2-lane roads, so passing somebody is you have to really make sure.
No one's
nobody's
coming
up there. Yeah.
But you almost don't need to pass anyone. You're not in a hurry. You're enjoying the scenery. You're seeing different fosses. The fosses.
Oh,
the different waterfalls.
You're trying to say facets, but yes, fosses.
Fosses.
Water fosses.
It was awesome.
And so at one point, going to see one of the fosses, after as we were leaving, there was a little hitchhiker by the side of the road.
Yeah, we picked her up.
Yeah.
And I was like, we should pick her up. And then I was like, what if this is our fatal flaw? What if this is our downfall? But it was like,
what if this is how it ends?
She was just a young woman traveling on her own.
She was like in her early 20s.
Like she was cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was from Belgium.
Yeah, and she was a backpacker. Like she does it all the time.
Like I kind of was like, well, because I'm being from America, like suspicious, right? Because I'm like, I'm worried for her now. Like I'm like,
we had our hands on our guns the whole time. And we're like, if she tries anything.
I saw the dumbest story online today.
Oh boy, what happened?
Some child was doing his Zoom school, okay? And the fucking teacher saw in his room a BB gun and reported him to like the principal, and the child got suspended for breaking the rules of, quote, bringing a toy gun to class.
Oh, come on.
Exactly.
Come on. Did you hear about that one kid that he was doing the Zoom like in the dining room or the living room or something, and the kitchen was in the background? What?
Did you tell me?
No, what? No.
Oh, because someone walked through. I think a parent walked through.
That's a different story.
Smoking a joint.
This kid like gets up and goes and gets a glass of water, and the teacher is like yelling at him, what are you doing or whatever. He's like, I can still hear you. Like, I'm in my house.
I have earbuds on, you lady.
You're going to tell me I can't get a glass of water in my own house? Like, I'm still on the video.
I mean, I think, listen, no shade to teachers. I'm friends with teachers. My brother teaches grad school.
My sister was a teacher.
One of my best friends is a teacher. No, I'm just kidding. And I get it. This is hard. This is stressful. Whatever. But have we lost common sense? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think it's...
Or are we just stretched to the brink of our sort of like, comfort zone and normalcy and uncertainty, and so we take it out in ways that are... But as an adult, you got to be the one to... You're the one setting the example to a child. So that's...
Yes.
That sounds very smug of me.
Here's the thing. We're obviously pro teacher, and teachers get a really raw deal.
Teachers are paid like shit.
Teachers get a raw deal.
Which I hate.
And it's weird that people are against teachers and like, oh, we're going to pay more money to these teachers. Don't they have enough money already? And they get a vacation half the year.
What, we're going to donate school supplies to them? Should they buy their own? No.
Yeah,
Fuck
It's
you.
insane that anyone is okay with that. The teachers are buying their own shit for their classes.
No.
But teachers are also people, and so some people are individual people.
Oh, I had an asshole.
Do dumb things.
I've had asshole.
Everyone's had an asshole teacher. Yes.
Yeah, I think I told a story on an earlier podcast about the 7th grade teacher that we had to turn our backs to when we did our jumping jacks.
That's right. That creep.
So,
I had a teacher. I was reminded of this recently. It just popped into my brain. My 1st grade teacher went to Catholic school. Sister Helen was her name.
Mm-hmm.
Sister Helen would. This was after you weren't supposed to be doing this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Would like hit kids with a yardstick.
Oh no! Wait, we had a sister do that. Yeah.
But only black kids.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It was decades before I put that together. Like,
of course.
I never saw a white kid get disciplined
of course.
like that. Then also there was a girl, because this was, in the late 70s when I was in first grade.
Uh-huh.
There was a girl in my class who had braces on her legs because I guess she had polio or something.
Yeah.
And she obviously was not able to move as quickly as everybody else.
Oh God. Yes.
And this nun, she was a fucking nun. Used to call her grandma.
That's so inappropriate.
It's horrible. So I hope she is roasting in hell.
I mean, we had some nice nuns. Some of the nuns were bitter like that.
These are the types of nuns, okay? There's the mean, bitter nun.
So wrong. No, this is wrong what we're doing. Okay, yeah.
There's the mean, bitter nun.
Yes.
There's the super old nun.
The super old nun was the one that used the ruler to swat.
Oh, she was... See, that's the thing.
The old one. And you know what?
But she also, I think, falls under bitter. Because there's the super old nun who's just like out of a movie or something.
Well, and also like a Tales from the Crypt situation.
I'm talking about
like with a habit on her skeletal face.
I'm talking about like the nun who's like a little doll with like big thick glasses that's just like not aware of what's going on around her. Oh yeah, we had that nun. Yeah,
Sister Stella Maris.
Then there's the nun who's like a big jock.
I feel like you're
It's like, I get why you're a nun. I see what's going on here.
Jesus Christ. Well, but then there's like the young hippie nun that plays the guitar and sings. Yeah. And that was like the best nun.
I mean, if you're lucky, you got that nun. We had a nun
I never got that
in
nun.
my high school who was like I'm not going to wear the habit nun. Like, I'm not going to wear the headgear.
Vatican II situation.
But she was a fucking ball buster. She was like really strict and kind of mean.
This is giving me like, I'm sweating now talking about this right now. I'm having like a moment. Oh, I had an interesting physical experience this week.
Oh, all right. And this is how I find out about it?
There was this news story.
Uh-oh. Wait, were you in the news?
No. There's a big news story about how the current guy in the White House is going to steal the election because he won't.
Yeah, he won't leave.
He won't leave or something.
Right.
And like he's got all these like, cards up his sleeve or whatever.
Right.
To like stick around. And how like
around cards.
One of the cards is to like wrap up all these states in these long these protracted legal battles,
right?
Where the clock runs out. Mm-hmm. Essentially, the clock runs out.
Where people are like, hey, it took too long. You still get to be president, I guess.
No, apparently there are these set dates.
Oh,
there are these set dates. There's like a December date and this date.
All a fucking joke. God.
Okay.
What are we doing?
There are these set dates, and the plan could be to run the clock down by date 1, date 2, date whatever, in which they just are like, well, we can't figure it out. So like it was this piece in the Atlantic, and then they did this big news story on TV to lay it with the guy who wrote it, this Pulitzer Prize winning guy, Bart Gellman, blah, blah, blah. And they were like talking about it. And all this is like also a problem is the Bush v. Gore.
Right.
Okay. So I voted.
What do you mean also is a problem is the Bush v. Gore?
Bush v. Gore set like a precedent.
Right. It set a precedent for things that we don't like happening.
Okay, so Bush v. Gore set this precedent of like because like Bush v. Gore essentially got decided and they stopped the counting.
Yeah.
And they were like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So this precedent was.
Hey, everybody, I'm awful sorry. Let's stop counting. How bad could it be?
Is that Gore or is that Bush? Because he's kind of country too.
It's not George Bush like this.
1,000 points of light.
No, that was his father.
What? Wait, I got it.
Doing like Nick Cave.
I got it.
1,000 points.
I got it. Strategery.
There you go. You did it. You nailed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, so they start. So I was in New York when in the 2000, I was living in Manhattan. I went and I voted for Gore. Sorry, guys. Someone said I love your podcast. Don't agree with your politics, but whatever. God love you that you still listen.
God love you.
I have never, and it might change.
God love you and let God sort you out.
Maybe this will change. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I have never voted for a Republican in my life.
Right.
Could happen. I'm not ruling it out.
You probably can.
I'm just saying, like, the way I was raised, the way, like, my DNA, whatever. And there are other tried and true on the other side. Mm-hmm. Straight ticket, whatevs. Whatever. Like, I wasn't even allowed to date a Republican. Like, I was told I could date anyone I wanted.
Mm. Who said this? Your mom?
Yes. I could date anyone I wanted, but I could not bring home a Republican.
Yes. Okay. So
I go to vote for Gore. I go to bed. Think it's done. My friend Paige calls me, wakes me up. Are you watching this? What? It's over. He won. Da-da-da. You better turn on the TV. So then the whole hanging chads begins or whatever.
That's right.
So this week, this news story comes out.
Hanging chads.
The news story comes out about it. Okay? And my body completely...
News story comes out about what?
The election.
What you were talking about at first? I didn't know where we were in time. If we were back in the year 2000, or if we'd now returned to the present.
I think it's both. Because what happened?
You're saying you had the same feeling that you had.
My body got nauseous. Okay, so I didn't know there were different types of nausea. I had a nausea in 2000.
Upset stomach, diarrhea.
God, I would kill for Pepto to be a sponsor. Like,
Pepto, get at us.
I take so much Pepto. Y'all don't even know my life.
We'll sing every unpleasant thing that happens in the intestinal tract.
I had such a special nausea in 2000 that came into my body. Okay.
A merchant ivory filled. A special nausea.
But I forgot about that nausea.
Starring Julian Sands.
I just want to say, he would be good in the role.
He'd be great. Julian Sands would crush it in a special nausea.
Then, y'all, this news story came out. And the nausea in my body literally took me to where I was sitting in Manhattan. What was hanging on the wall over here? It was a hanging chad. Oh my God, that would be an awesome art installation, like a giant.
Dire portent. I had that Chad framed in my office.
It was like the end of Usual Suspects. Like I was looking over here and looking over there and looking down here, and I got so nauseous from it. And it was a very unique experience. Mm-hmm. Unless it's COVID. In which case?
I don't think COVID.
In which case? No, you get GI with COVID.
I know, but I don't.
You get it.
I don't think it works like remembrance of things past. I don't think COVID nausea takes you back to a memory.
You don't think it takes you 20 years in the past?
I don't think so. You know, I was in London for the 2004 election.
Oh, I know.
Voted absentee.
I absolutely remember.
Yes, so I voted absentee.
And that was a situation, y'all.
And then the night before election day, watching the returns on TV and thinking, great, this is going great. Going to bed thinking George Bush will not be president again.
Oh, how lucky for you for that 5 minutes.
Wake up the next day, reverse Christmas morning. And they got to set, and one of the English crew members said,
"You still didn't know?"
No, I did know by this point.
Oh, okay.
One of the English crew members asked me, Are you pleased about the results of the election? And I was like, no! How dare you?
That was an
I'm not
upsetting.
happy about this.
That was an upsetting year because Kerry was not my guy.
He was nobody's guy. Nobody was like psyched to vote for John Kerry.
Who was it? Joe Lieberman, or who was his person?
No, that was Al Gore. Al Gore had Joe Lieberman as his running mate.
Al, why didn't you pick a lady?
Oh, Al.
Oh, Al.
Who was Kerry's running mate?
I don't remember.
Fuck. I can't believe I don't remember.
Oh, was it a young Edwards? It was John Edwards.
Yes, that's right. John Edwards.
Y'all, I'm gonna admit something. I was taken in by Edwards.
Yeah, a lot of us were.
Oh, okay.
No, he was like.
I had no idea, y'all. He was not my guy he was not my guy that year. Howard was. Howard Dean was.
Yeah!
I can't believe that
I know.
sunk him.
I know. It's fucking crazy.
He was my guy.
It's crazy.
He was my guy. But then he just they got rid of him, and then he picked John Edwards. And I didn't mind John Edwards. I like that he worked. He was conscientious about poverty.
Yes, I like that too.
He did all this. He was anti-corporate stuff. He did all this stuff that I thought he was like one of those Southern intellectual, like genteel. I just he felt familiar to me, coming from where I come from, and he seemed charismatic and trustworthy. And holy shit!
Yeah.
Holy shit. And it wasn't even just the affair, the fact that Elizabeth had cancer. And that was part of the story.
That's a bad look.
That was a whole part of the story that Elizabeth, he used her.
Yeah.
He used her like a prop. And then you realize he's just another skilled sociopath that, or narcissist, I should say, that use people. But that was messed up.
I want to say this right now. Not cool.
NC. J-E-N-C.
J-E-N-C. You heard? All right. We got to wrap it up. Do you have any recommendations?
I think it's funny that most of the Democrat scandals tend to be sex, women, and the Republican ones are dumping stock or steal extorting,
right.
And maybe that's a oversimplification. I would say what were my recommendations? Oh, we just started something very compelling on HBO Max in a true crime situation.
Yes.
Called The Murders at White House Farm, based on a true story. British murders happened in the 80s. Total reenactment. I was laughing to Paul because I was how when you watch British stuff and we see like the same actors all the time. And then we get like excited and we're like, oh my God, that's the person.
There's our friend.
That's our friend from Game of Thrones. Oh my God, he was in Downton Abbey. Oh,
Yeah.
and then we'll watch like something American and we'll be like, ugh, what?
Why does this guy have to fucking be in everything?
Same person? Okay, I guess
he's already on a show.
You get to do 3 series in 1 week. Like total,
It's
the hypocrisy.
Extremely true.
Is the hypocrisy.
The hypocrisy.
What's your recommendation?
Well, I just want to recommend. I don't know if I have anything new to recommend this week. I don't know. It's been a weird week, but I do want to. I want to remind people that.
You have a
tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Thrilling Adventure Hour, 5 p.m. Pacific time. We're doing a show which is a sort of choose your own adventure show, where we are letting the audience vote on what 2 of the stories will be.
Guess what, guys? Your vote will count.
Your vote will count. This is an election where every vote matters.
The democracy.
And that's 5 p.m. Pacific. Then Monday, October 5th, Lauren Lapkus and I doing our Lapkus and Tompkins show. Also 5 p.m. Pacific. And then October 29th.
Day after my birthday.
That's right, honey. I will be basking in the glow of a wonderful day that we've just had. And then doing a live reading of Plan 9 from Outer Space, hosted by the hilarious Dana Gould. Great cast, including Maria Bamford, Baron Vaughn. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've done the show a bunch of times, and I really love doing it, and I'm excited that we're doing it live. There's going to be, like, special effects and stuff like that. It's going to be a really neat thing.
And so all those shows, you only have to go one place to get tickets. Is that correct?
Janie, that's exactly correct.
And what would that place be where people can find the tickets?
That place is paulftompkins.com/live. Slash. You'll find a
got
veritable
Appalachian there.
treasure trove of links. But
That's how they talk in Appalachia.
There's like a
Midwestern. Put out your wash.
There's like a Midwestern aspect to that too. Treasure and pleasure.
Really?
Yeah.
Not when I do it.
Okay.
Speaking of places to go online, we have.
How about you go to hell?
We have a great Instagram at stayfhomekins.
Yes, we do. We have stayfhomekins on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
And then stayfhomekins@gmail.com if you want to write to us.
And people have been writing, and it's been awesome.
Yes. We love hearing from you. Thank you for listening to the show. We love you.
We love you. Stay.
Oh, we're in it. Okay.
I don't know. Are we?
Yeah, we are. Stay safe.
Stay.
What?
I already said stay.
So we'll see you next week. And in the meantime,
stay
safe.
Stay
sane. And stay home.
If you can.
No, stay home.